Well, the Kenya Bureau of Standards plans to intensify market surveillance and tighten import controls in a renewed bid to keep substandard and counterfeit goods out of the Kenyan markets. KEBS Managing Director Ngari says the agency is scaling up enforcement of standards through stricter inspection, digital verification of quality marks and closer coordination with other enforcement bodies. The KEBS MD spoke exclusively to our reporter Trevor Ngendo, who has the following report.
Hello there, and a very good evening from studio. We are coming to you from the KBC Gardens. My name is Trevor Ngendo. Tonight, we are going to talk on issues that touch on the Kenyan households about the quality and safety of the products that we consume, from the food we eat to the building materials shaping our cities and the electrical appliances in our homes. But as substandard goods continue to infiltrate the Kenyan markets, questions continue to linger about the safety of the products that we consume in the country, and also on Kenya's enforcement systems. How strong are they? Joining me tonight is the Kenya Bureau of Standards Managing Director Ngari to talk to us about the enforcement standards in the country. Thank you so much for joining us, Ngari. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Trevor.
Maybe you could begin by telling us how would you rate KEBS' success in full protecting the Kenyan consumers?
Thank you so much. Let me start by saying that Kenya Bureau of Standards has put in systems, very robust systems in place to ensure that we have fulfilled the mandate that we have been given under the Standards Act, CAP 496. We have put in quality assurance systems, we have put in systems for inspection of products, we have put in systems for market surveillance, and all these go to make sure that the products that get to the consumer, they are actually safe. We have made sure that all the products getting into the market, the products that the manufacturers are making and releasing to the market, they are supposed to have a standardization mark that then assures the consumer who procures this product or uses the products, they assure the consumer that when you see the standardization mark on the product, that product has been checked and has been given that mark to inform the consumer that the product is safe. So we have put in robust systems. We have conformity assessment processes which have, where we have laboratories at the headquarters. We also have laboratories all over the country where we have our regional offices. We also have laboratories at every entry point. And our laboratories have been accredited to international certifications, which make sure that the tests we are carrying out, the officers who are manning these laboratories are competent and they are able to give test reports that then give confidence to the consumer of these products.
You've mentioned about putting robust systems, of course, but we cannot run away from the fact that we still have some counterfeit goods coming into the Kenyan market. Reports indicate that Kenya loses up to 1 trillion shillings to counterfeits in the country. I'd love to know, and just recently you intercepted around 24,000 extension sockets. How do such goods still find their way into the Kenyan borders?
Let me start by giving the difference between counterfeit products and substandard products. And also to tell Kenyans that we have a non-counterfeit authority which takes care of issues of counterfeited products. A counterfeited product is an issue of intellectual property rights. So you have the intellectual property, you have a product which is branded, for example, Nike, and somebody else produces a product similar to that and gives it the same branding. That is a counterfeited product. and it is different from substandard product. A substandard product means that somebody has produced a product and it does not meet the requirements, the specifications that the country has gazetted in terms of the Kenyan standard. Kenya Bureau of Standards mandate is to check that every product that gets into the country or any product that is manufactured within the country meets the Kenyan standard. And when I speak about the Kenyan standard, it could be the Kenyan standard, national standard, it could be an East African standard which has been harmonized and Kenya has adopted it, and it could also be an international standard which Kenya has adopted. And for products getting to the country, we have three ways of checking. We have the pre-shipment, the pre-verification of conformity at the country of origin. That's what we call PVOC. We have entered into contracts with different inspection agencies who check on our behalf, and then they give a certificate of conformity to any product that is conforming to the Kenyan standard. We have a different route where a manufacturer at the country of origin, we can give them a diamond mark. So our officers will go to the manufacturing unit, they will be able to do an inspection, and they give a mark, a diamond mark, when the product that is being produced at that manufacturing site meets the standard. And once a diamond mark is given, the product coming from that manufacturing site come with a mark, the D mark. And that product is allowed into the country. We also have destination inspection. Destination inspection is where the product leaves the country of origin, it has not been inspected, it does not have the certificate of conformity. And on arrival into Kenya, we pick samples, we take them to our laboratories, we test against the Kenyan standard, and if the product is conforming, then we give a local certificate of conformity, and that product is accepted into the country. The issue of the sockets that were intercepted in Mombasa, these are products that get into the country, and on doing the verification at the entry point, and inspecting them against the Kenyan standard, we realize they are not conforming. And therefore, what happens to such products? We will seize the product, we destroy at your cost as an importer, or you return the product to where it has come from.
All right. Yeah. Of course, you've mentioned about the counterfeits and the substandard goods. I'd like to hear how you're coordinating with the Anti-Counterfeit Authority to ensure that you also, both of you, fulfill the same mandate, the mandate that you have in your respective institutions.
We normally work very closely with other agencies, and one of them being the Anti-Counterfeit Authority. And given there's a circular that was given in 2019 that put Kenya Bureau of Standards as one of the agencies that requires to be at the port of entry. And therefore, what happened is that we worked with other agencies to develop an enhanced certificate of conformity, which means that when products are coming from other countries of origin, then some of the requirements of these other state corporations or regulators are incorporated into the certificate of conformity. So they tell us, this is what you check. So we require this kind of permit from the country of origin, and we incorporate it into the enhanced certificate of conformity, such that when the goods are arriving into the country, we have already confirmed whether they have complied with what the other agency requires. Now, for the Anti-Counterfeit Authority, if there is any suspected product get into the country and they have intelligence that this product is likely to be counterfeited, then they alert us. As the product gets into the country, before we release it, then they intercept.
Can you pinpoint some of the cases that, for example, you've had people prosecuted either or even dealing with rogue manufacturers or exporters? Is there, you have cases in court that you can pinpoint and mention that they're undergoing the prosecution?
Yes, we have, one of the things I can state is that as Kenya Bureau of Standards, we don't have prosecutors. So we normally use the other government agencies, especially the ODPP, and we have prosecuted several cases. One of them that I can mention is in December 2024, there were people who were in the river, and we had a multi-agency where we got very good assistance from Interior, from the DCI. We also worked with the Anti-Counterfeit Authority and the Weights and Measures Department, and we were able to take people to court. Those who are repackaging cement, and first they were mixing good cement with pozzolana, and basically the final product was substandard. It was underweight. So we were dealing with the issues of weight. That's why Weights and Measures were involved. We were dealing with issues of counterfeit because we were repackaging this cement in other people's bags, branded bags, and we were dealing with the issues of substandard product. So we have that case is currently ongoing in our courts. Also, as Kenya Bureau of Standards, sit in the board of Anti-Counterfeit Authority for purposes of the governance issues that and sharing the information in terms of what do we expect as we deal with the counterfeit products, as we deal with substandard products, what kind of information do we need to share? And at the board level, what are the governance issues that both institutions need to deal with? So those are some of the things that we do together.
We've had KEBS criticized severally at the Senate. We've had about the edible oil saga. We've had several past experiences with KEBS, and of course, it's seeming or perceived to be losing the confidence of the public. What are some of these reforms that you're making to ensure that you regain that trust by the Kenyans and to assure them that you are, that they're consuming safe products?
Thank you, Trevor. One of the things I would want to tell you is that Kenya Bureau of Standards is a very strategic institution in this country. Strategic in that the consumer has expectation that every product that they find in the market meets the required standards. Strategic in that we are at the center of development of all the standards, market-driven standards for this country, and ensuring that these standards then we are able to do regulation on the same. So the strategic nature of the institution puts a lot of rhyme right, and rightfully so, because Kenyans have an expectation. So as the managing director of Kenya Bureau of Standards, one of my greatest roles is to restore the public confidence that the consumers can be able to trust that whatever we have said, that this one complies to the standards, actually complies to the standards.
All right, we've seen a lot, the rise of use of technology and innovation. We're talking about the global benchmarks. How is KEBS, or what steps is KEBS taking to ensure that they're not left behind in this global trend?
One of the things I can say is that we have automated quite a number of our services. Today, if somebody wants to do an application for product certification, that's the S-mark, you don't have to come physically to our institution. You just need to go to your phone or to your laptop and make the application. Once you fill the required details, then you make the payment through eCitizen, and we get an alert on our end. An officer is allocated your farm, and they're able to come and do the physical inspection. We have also been really encouraging issues of innovation in terms of a lot of these micro, small enterprises have very innovative products, and we're able to support that in terms of standardizing your products. But on issues of AI, we also gather a lot of information through the AI system. And it's one of the things, even when you talk about standardization globally, we are focusing on smart standards where it's not a physical document, but they are smart standards. So it's something that we are adopting as a national standards body. And of course, in the institution, we also have a department that we call research and development. And it is meant to help the institution as new things come up, as new technology comes up, that we are also able to adopt the new technology. We are able to get innovative products. Our laboratories also have to be in tandem with whatever is happening globally. We have been renewing most of the old processes that we have been using in terms of testing to also become more efficient, to reduce on the turnaround time as we do testing and releasing of the reports to the industry. So we are really adopting the new technology as it comes. Otherwise, in today's era and age, if you don't adopt the new technology, you'll be left behind.
For sure. And of course, we are aware that KEBS will be very key in seeing the implementation of the AFCFTA, which is very key in the country. You've mentioned about technology, but still as you integrate technology, we've seen some consumers probably struggle to be able to verify the quality standard and marks. What kind of help or technology do we have available to help, the tools available for Kenyan consumers to be able to verify and ensure that that's actually a genuine product?
Now, on the issues of verification, we have been running a campaign we call Wajibika na KEBS. And Wajibika is a Kiswahili word for you need to be part of this. You need to wajibika. And what we do is that every product that is on sale in the country requires to have an S mark. That S mark that is put on every product. And as a consumer, you can verify that that product has a valid standardization mark by sending that number that appears below the logo, that SM hash, that number, to 20023. Immediately you send that message, you get back a response which gives you the name of the company that is making the product. It gives you the date of the mark, validity of that permit, and it also tells whether it's valid or not. We also have had instances where people have, especially traders, they have been approached by people and they say, we are from Kenya Bureau of Standards, we are here to check your product, and they actually even threaten to arrest. The first red flag, if anybody comes to your facility as a trader and they tell you we'll arrest you, just know they are not from Kenya Bureau of Standards. Because as Kenya Bureau of Standards, first, we do not arrest people. We also do not do instant fines. So if anybody is asking me for fine, they are not from KEBS. But you can verify the authenticity of this officer. You need to ask for their ID card, the national ID, and you ask for the KEBS card, identification card. And what you do with that card, you send the number, the HR number that you find on the card to 20023. You say HR hash, that number, to 20023. It will bring you back the full name of the officer, what is the title of the officer, and whether they are active, the status. Then, using the name, you can verify whether it's the same name on their national ID. So nobody should be able to come to you as an imposter. We've had a lot of imposters going to facilities and saying that they are Kenya Bureau of Standards officers, but as a trader, you can verify whether they are actually KEBS or not.
What are some of the challenges that you foresee in the future?
The biggest challenge I would say, and I'm foreseeing in the future, is how to regulate products that are on the e-commerce. Because today, I sit in my house, I can order anything, globally, and it will be delivered. So as an institution, we are also looking at how do we regulate products that are being sold on the e-commerce, which don't come through our normal channels of trade, which will not come through the ports of entry, the normal channels of trade. So we are looking at how do we regulate such kind of products to make sure that that consumer who is buying on a e-platform is able also to get products that has been certified, and especially the products which are coming out of the country.
All right. As we bring this to a close now, maybe if we're to sit here again a year from now, what are some of the things that Kenyans should be expecting, or the milestones that they'll be looking forward to? And also you could speak to the local manufacturers and producers, those in construction industry, on the role they have to play in ensuring that to ensure safety of the Kenyan consumers.
What I want to assure the consumers is that Kenya Bureau of Standards is here for you. We are here to ensure that the product you find in every sales outlet meets the Kenyan standard. For the manufacturers and for the traders, one of the things I would want to tell them is that we will not allow any non-compliant products in the market. We are here to make sure we are facilitating trade in terms of having the right standards that they need to meet. But most importantly, we are here to ensure consumer protection. And we do this through market surveillance. We have a whole department that actually goes out there. We procure products just like any other consumer. So the manufacturer does not even know. We go to a supermarket, buy products, we bring them to the lab, we test. If they fail, we go back and seize that product, and we write to the manufacturer, we withdraw their permit, we make sure they take corrective action. For the consumers, if you have any doubt, it is good to share the information. You share on the whistleblowers policy. If you find any product in the market that is suspicious, please share the information, because then we can do intelligence-based market surveillance.
All right, thank you so much. We really need to bring this to a close, unfortunately, but thank you so much for sharing your insights, and we appreciate and we look forward to see what more you have for the Kenyan consumer. All right, thank you so much. I've been talking to Esther Ngari, the Managing Director of the Kenya Bureau of Standards. She has shed light on the challenges that lie ahead, the milestones they've made, and what you should be looking forward to. Of course, and enforcement is not just a role of the regulators, but also for you as a citizen alike. My name is Trevor Ngendo. It's been an honor having you on this show. We hand it over back to studio. Thank you for following.